Welcome back to the Ethanol Review. Last week taking off felt great. I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and thirsty. Today is a very special episode. I'm here at the Open Bottle. This is the sister location to Liquor Express in Huntsville. Why am I here? As regular viewers know, I often hit my head against the wall trying to get good, diverse spirits in the state. I source most of my stuff from Tennessee and Florida. So instead of complaining and spending my money outside of the state, I thought, what can we do to change this? How can we start to diversify our shelf space? So I talked with Lara Isbell, who works with Liquor Express and the Open Bottle, and wanted to see if she would team up to start bringing in cool products. She was totally on board, and this is the first episode of that. And where better to start than one of the most underrepresented categories in Alabama, rum. And what better brand to start with than Plantation? The story starts with Alexander Gabriel. This Frenchman was born in Burgundy and actually inherited winemaking and spirit distillation from his family. We're gonna fast forward through his life to the juicy part, which is in 1989. In 1989, Alexander Gabriel teamed up with Masson Ferrand Cognac House. This used to be a huge cognac producer in France, but they were on a sharp decline with the advent of guys like Hennessy and Courvoisier and Remy Martin. So Alexander worked with Masson Ferrand for a while, brought them back to prominence with some award-winning cognacs. He also brought in a great gin called Citadel, but that's aside the point. So what happens when you've got all this great cognac in the bottle? Left over are these wonderfully seasoned ex-cognac barrels. They are in high demand from spirit producers all over the world, but specific to this story is the Caribbean, where these rum producers were dying to get their hands on some of Alexander's ex-cognac casks. So as Alexander is traveling throughout the Caribbean, sampling wares, trying different terroirs of rum, Plantation rum is born. It's kind of hard to describe exactly what these guys do. They're really a bottler blender and not an actual distiller. So to give you an example of one of the lines that they carry, Alexander would go to Panama, he would go to Guyana and say, you know what, I want to blend these two terroirs together. So he works with local distilleries there to make the juice, do the initial aging in their respective terroirs, ship it back to Cognac, France, where he then blends it, ages it further, and bottles it into a Plantation rum bottle. Today we're going to showcase one of their entry-level brands, something that's regularly available in most places, not in Alabama yet. It's the Plantation 3-Star. This is their take on a white rum. Each star represents a different terroir in the Caribbean. We have Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados. I would describe this as a lightly aged blended rum, which means that there's column still rum in it, pot still rum, and the general age is around 2 years. I believe the oldest piece of this is a smidgen of 10-year-old Jamaican rum, but it's just a bit. Overall, I would say this is around 2 to 3 years old. In food and beverage cultures that are really advanced, this is a staple behind the bar. This would absolutely be ahead of Cruzan or Bacardi Superior. It's not necessarily a sipping rum, it's usually made for cocktails. However, it is the highest level of that, in my humble opinion. But enough jibber jabber, let's taste it. It's not quite clear. It has this almost greenish, grayish tint to it. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera. If I put it against my shiny head, it'll show a bit better. Yeah, it's kind of grayish green. I don't know what that means, you know, in the filtration process or the aging process lended that color to it, but it's very interesting. It's not just white, it's not just completely clear. Very interesting here. So if you've had Jamaican rum, you're familiar with that characteristic funk that they have. And I think it has to do with like a bacteria kind of sour mashing process, but you get a bit of Jamaican funk, but also you get a softness behind it, kind of like a ripe banana, kind of like old citrus kind of character to it. There's definitely some stuff going on. I think that the Jamaican pops out the most. Of the 3 stars, there's Jamaican, Barbados, and Trinidad. I think that the nose is the most Jamaican piece of it. Oh shit, that is delicious. Oh my goodness. It is lots of banana, kind of a bit of pineapple, medium plus body, has a great texture, a great enveloping softness to it. There are no sharp edges whatsoever. Really envelops your palate. A lot of fruit, but I think mainly banana and pineapple is what I'm getting. Kind of makes me think of like a old banana daiquiri or something. There's almost a cream quality to it from the texture. Yeah, you really don't get that same Jamaican funk on the palate. It's much more on the nose. There's a hint of it, but it's really more about fruit and kind of in that velvety texture. It's really enjoyable. I didn't expect this to be sippable quality, just a neat drink, surely because of the price. It's affordable. You can drink this neat though, absolutely. This is probably the first pale rum that I've had that I can say, wow, like I'll take it neat. I can't even imagine how it would perform in a cocktail like a daiquiri or a mojito. It would probably be killer. Absolutely fantastic. No rough edges. Completely enjoyable. I can't recommend this enough. This is really good. Liquor Express just brought in, I think, a case or so, maybe 2. So I don't know if you can get it quite yet, but if it sells, I'm sure they'll bring in more. So I highly encourage you, if you want to try something new that is absolutely fantastic, and you're not really sure about rum, you have your doubts, you've had some bad rums, Bacardi, Cruzan, try this, Plantation 3-star. It's a beautiful story, incredibly unique process that showcases the spectrum of Caribbean rum production and all the various terroir that are associated with it. Incredible stuff. Go and buy some and enjoy it. Thank you for watching. I really hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hit like, hit subscribe if you want to see more. We're going to continue episodes like this, again, in an effort to diversify our shelves in northern Alabama. We need more products. We need more choices. More excellent, unique options to drink. Enough of the same old brands. There's a huge variety out there of great spirits that we haven't quite tapped into in Alabama, but with the ABC board masterminding the stagnation of our drinking culture. But if we keep drinking stuff like this, buying stuff like this, we're going to start to have better drinks in northern Alabama. Cheers.